Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother. If there was one question a reporter could ask you that you feel like hasn't been asked, what would that be?
How can a man of 24 write songs about women the way you do? You know what I mean? I listen to how all these women talk about how rappers hate women and boom boom. I got not just one song on every album. You know what I mean? I talk about women's pain more than other women talk about women's pain. I might have been the first motherfucker to talk some shit like that. Talk about women on welfare. Now, every nigga that talk to any song slow, they talk about women on welfare. You know what I mean? I was the first nigga to serenade the females on welfare. First nigga. First nigga to say, I don't give a fuck, you got stretch marks and a baby daddy. I still love you.
Yeah, how you guys doing today? What's happening? Just come to you today to bring you the latest conversation in regards to the latest gimmicky thing that's going on in the music industry. And comparing artists comparing themselves to Tupac by saying that they're the new Tupac, they're the next Tupac, or they're just like Tupac. And I'm here to tell you, as someone who worked with Tupac, someone who knew Tupac personally, you're not the next Tupac. You're not going to be Tupac. You're not comparable to Tupac in any shape, form, or fashion. Tupac was a complex individual and organic as they come. And I understand the wanting to compare yourself to Tupac. I understand the admiration and the accolades, but let those stand alone and not include your name in that same accolade or appreciation, should I say. So you have nowadays record labels putting out press releases once they've released a new artist who's not on the level lyrically, who hasn't sold as many albums, who hasn't accomplished nearly half of the things that Tupac accomplished in his career, comparing themselves to Tupac. And it's so disingenuous that you kind of water down Tupac's image, if you will, with these false comparisons. And I'll give you some examples of why it's not even fair, should I say, or blatantly it's outright wrong to do that. Number one, Tupac was the type of guy that was passionate about what he did.
And I plot and plan and got so many plans. And my first plan was to do an album in 2 days, if I could, in 2 days. Well, now it's taking us a week, so we all right, we still there.
Now it's about who you're dating, who you fought with last night in the club, what somebody said about somebody else on Instagram. And, you know, back then, it was real. If you had a beef with somebody, you know, you had to see them. You know, and Tupac was the epitome of, you know, confrontation when somebody said something about him or tried to use his name in a negative light, saying that he wasn't a representation or the best representation of hip hop. And so a lot of times we see that now today with the clout chase move. You know, another thing, like, you know, real situations back then, like the Quad Studio shooting, you know, him getting shot, all of that was real. That wasn't staged. You know, that wasn't some part of some publicity ploy to, you know, make you more familiar with who Tupac was. That was real.
So what, I got shot. I'm cool though. I don't have any scars. You know what I mean? I don't slur my words. My hands could both go up. Everything is still cool. Was it tough recovery? Nope. Sure wasn't. I was walking around. They put me in jail 3 weeks after I got shot. 5 times. No stories on 2020 about the miraculous, you know, survival or nothing. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, that's like super idiots. God damn, you know what I mean? If Marky Mark would have took 5 bullets, it'd have been on the news for about at least a year. Like, that nigga is Superman. He's Marky Mark. He's the man. A nigga take 5 bullets, it's just like, when you gonna be ready to go to jail? It's just, y'all was bred to take 5 bullets. You're supposed to be, you know? That messed me up.
The rape charge in New York, that situation was real. You know, going to jail, being in the maximum security prison in Dannemora, New York, that was real.
I was locked down for 23 hours. Somebody come by telling me to clean up my cell, get tickets for that, and, you know, in a small, tiny closet, and no hot water, and you gotta eat this nasty food. And I was like, you know, all I kept in my mind was one day, I'll be back.
So nowadays, you have artists who haven't done none of these things. Not that they need to do those things, but they feel like they have to do something to keep you interested in who they are instead of make good music. How we came to know who Tupac was through, Keep Your Head Up, where he was talking about a song about black women. You know, something that was empowering, something that was uplifting. And nobody was really doing that. Nobody really, did songs like that in hip hop until Tupac started to do it.
Mothers writing me, thanking me, telling me to talk to their kids writing me, girls writing me, telling me, I helped it. I got at least 1,000 letters with females saying, you helped me get through this, or you helped me get through that, with Keep Your Head Up. So that made me be like, that's cool, I'm feeling, Girls write me saying, I don't want you to answer my letters back, I don't want nothing, I'm going to just keep writing you, because I feel like I got to get this off my chest, you helped me, now I'm going to help you.
So when artists come out, you don't have a keep your head up, or I Get Around, or a Brenda's Got a Baby, or a Dear Mama, or Hit 'Em Up, or How Do You Want It, or any of those songs in your catalog to even be in the same arena, yet mentioned in the same phrase as a Tupac when it comes to being compared to him. So I think a lot of times, when people do that, it's just a part of the clout chase. But I mean, you do yourself a disservice as an artist, because now you've put yourself next to somebody who you can't even compare to. He's like out of the stratosphere, deceased, and you just a newbie to the game. You just got in the game. So I think, with that, and also just we can speak on another level, on the political level. Tupac had high-powered politicians mentioning his name during their presidential bid.
And then you got the vice president on TV saying your shit ain't no good. So of course it makes people think, oh my God, he's a true menace.
Or top-ranked senators, Bob Dole. He had C. Dolores Tucker. He had right-wing talking heads like Rush Limbaugh, talk show hosts like Jay Leno.
Yeah, and all the jokes like Jay Leno and all the dudes making jokes and shit. They don't make jokes about white people when they get shot. Nobody wasn't joking about Reagan when he got shot. Wasn't shit funny. Yeah, what's so cheap about my life? That these niggas could just tell jokes. Then they wonder why we act the way we act. Why we act so anti-everything. It's because they are so anti-us. You know what I mean? I'm sitting in jail in the hospital looking at TV and this fool making jokes.
Who was the guy?
I was like,
the conservative guy.
Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah, Rush Limbaugh. Didn't he say something the day you got shot?
Yeah.
He was glad or something like that.
Yeah. So, I wrote his ass a letter though when I was in jail.
You did?
Yeah, I sure did.
Donnie Simpson for BET. You had people speaking this guy's name that were high-powered people. And until you've had people like that speaking your name, you're not on Tupac's level.
Al Sharpton helped me out a lot. He got me moved into a good unit and all of that. Cause they had me locked down all day, every day at first. So Al Sharpton kind of intervened for me.
You haven't made the impact or the impression on pop culture or hip hop culture or any culture yet until you've done that by the influence that you had and how articulate and outspoken that you were. And you knew your flaws. You knew that you weren't perfect, but yet and still you presented yourself as who you were. And I think that's the attraction to Tupac. He was organic. He was original. He was authentic. So I understand the comparison or the wanting to compare, but you're not Tupac. You're not going to be Tupac. You're not the next Tupac. And Tupac was who he was because that's just who he was.
And nobody ain't say nothing about how I was in the maximum state penitentiary with the #1 album in the whole wide fucking country.
When you can sell the #1 album while you're incarcerated, doing no promo, doing no publicity, doing none of that.
They just said, fuck it. First white group get a #1 record, on white country record. Just white country R&B, anything. They be, oh my God, that's fucking wonderful. These guys are so talented. They got it, everything. They got the look. I'm in jail. No promo, nothing. My shit going #1 all across the boards. All they want to talk about is Tupac is in jail. He's not getting out. This is what he's in jail for. That's character assassination, if you ask me. Because if I was that hell of a bad person, my music wouldn't sound like that. It wouldn't affect people. When you go, #1, that's not just black people. That ain't just thugs. You know what I mean? #1 in the whole country mean #1 in the whole country. You know what I mean?
We sold 400,000 copies on the first week, wasn't it?
Yeah, no question. I broke records. I broke records. Nobody ever did what I just did.
That's a different stratosphere. And like I said, no artist today has yet to touch on that that level of success, that level of respect, that level of authenticity other than Tupac.
That was the only revenge I really wanted.
Straight game.